A new phone has surfaced, and we're sure this isn't going to be the Samsung Galaxy S9. That is all but confirmed to be a very iterative upgrade from the Galaxy S8. We're sure it isn't the foldable Galaxy X smartphone, rumoured to be coming around 2018-2019 time. So what is it? It is a bezel-less smartphone, but not in the way the term is traditionally used to describe phones with an 85% screen-to-body ratio, nor is it going to be a 90% screen-to-body ratio. What we are talking about here with the Samsung Galaxy Z is 100%. So the company recently filed a patent on 30th of November 2017, and it details almost exactly how they're going to plan to go about making this device. They're going to have so-called bent areas, which are going to be all four sides of the phone, and then curved areas on all four corners. And what this is effectively going to allow the screen to do is meet the body of the phone at a 90-degree angle. And what this implies is huge. It means that if you were holding the phone directly in front of your line of sight, straight on, you wouldn't even see a sliver of bezel. The phone is taking up the entire front, and it is essentially melting around the edges. Now this might cause a little bit of upset for the people who really need a camera on the front of their phone. But actually we've seen a couple of reports which have suggested the camera module could be underneath the display, and work in a way such that when you open the camera application, the pixels sitting in front of the camera module could switch off, and the camera would use a software algorithm to correct for the distortion caused by the display in front. Now speaking of the display and what it's going to do, as well as becoming physically larger, it's also likely to play a larger role in the smartphone itself. Because it is probably going to wrap around the sides of the device, it may well be that the volume rocker is replaced by software keys. So they could offer some tactile feedback, similar to the 3D Touch home button we've seen on the S8 and the Note 8. That would work really well, we wouldn't have to worry about broken keys again, and if you really wanted a hardware physical power button, that could be mapped to the rear of the phone. We could well be having a fingerprint scanner built into the display of the phone, and by the time this smartphone is predicted to release, that technology will very much be available. Now of course, a design like this does come with some complications. Samsung is going to need to develop some very practical software to remove unwanted touches. Obviously when you hold a smartphone, when you palm it with a hand, some of your fingers are naturally going to rest on the side of the phone. However, this isn't impossible. We've seen Apple with the iPads has developed very good palm recognition software. A lot of the time when you're using an iPad and one of your thumbs is stretching 2-3 inches into the display, it is very good at ignoring that. The earpiece also needs to be considered. It could very well be a tiny cutout towards the top of the smartphone. It could become a notch similar to what we've seen on the iPhone X, or alternatively, they could try and do something like what Xiaomi did with the Mi Mix. They made the chassis of the phone vibrate to transmit audio. But unfortunately the result wasn't very good, but if something like that was taken and then refined, it could work. And for the sake of having a phone that looks as good as this, for the practicality and the efficiency that having no wasted space on the front of the phone brings, these are very much fair compromises. Now as we've said before, it's going to be at least a few years before we see phones with a 100% screen to body ratio, so we're not expecting this smartphone anywhere before 2019. But we've been surprised in the past, it could happen again. It's very possible that Samsung will make an official announcement for this device sometime in late 2018, early 2019, and then it will be released slightly later down the line. Anyway, I really do hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something from it. And if you did, if you could support me by subscribing, that would be amazing. With that being said, my name is Aaron, this is Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'm signing out.